Los Angeles is known for its incredible facilities and strong home price appreciation, making it a desirable community for many people. The city is famous for its perfect climate and inclusive culture. So far, 12 million people call this city their home.
If you're considering a move here, then you know that LA has a reputation of glitz and glamour. After all, it is the media capital of the world. But making it big in LA means an endless grind. Like the rest of California, living in LA comes with a hefty price tag.
This channel is all about living in Los Angeles. We cover communities all over the city. If you're interested in learning more about what LA has to offer, then please subscribe to this channel and tap the little bell for notifications. My name is Kohli Catalano.
And I'm Dominic Labriola, and we're with Kraft & Bauer Real Estate Company.
So today, we're talking about the cost of living in Los Angeles, as this is something that everyone that's looking to relocate here probes me about, and specifically, if you need to be rich to live here.
LA is unique in that more people rent here instead of own in the city. Only 35% of LA residents are actually homeowners. The rest are renters. This trend is only prevalent in a few other cities around the country.
Along with your rent or mortgage payment, your monthly costs will include expenses like food, gas, insurance, utilities, and entertainment. Each of these items are considered pricier in LA than other parts of the country, which drives up the overall cost of living here. If you do plan on being here, you're going to need a healthy bank account and a solid savings buffer. On Numbio's cost of living index, LA was found to be at least 20% cheaper than living in New York. When you add housing and rent to this figure, it's more affordable than San Francisco, but not as affordable as San Diego.
Currently, the average cost of living in LA for a single person starts around $1,000 per month. If you're a family of 4, you might be paying around $3,600 each month. These figures exclude your housing costs. While there are many perks of living in LA, the high cost of living is not everyone's cup of tea. Let's break down living costs.
First, let's take a look at rent. The city is not easily affordable for those who don't have a stable income. The rents in LA have been increasing as the pandemic conditions have been easing, which is why some affordable neighborhoods like Van Nuys are growing in their popularity. Also, areas like Silver Lake in downtown LA have been attracting more and more people that are looking for somewhere to live. And whilst these locations aren't that affordable, they are centrally located, and the amenity-rich buildings are tempting people to live here and also gentrifying these neighborhoods. A one-bedroom apartment will cost you from $1,700. This figure is higher than the national median of $1,200 per month, whilst a two-bedroom apartment in LA will start at around $2,300.
Remember, if you're renting, you should aim to spend less than 30% of your gross monthly income on rent. According to this calculation, a renter should aim to earn $70,240 a year, or about $5,400 a month. The average purchase price of a home in LA is skewed higher by the sales of celebrity mansions. To give you a better idea of the real estate market, we should look at the median sales price of $823,500. According to Redfin's calculation, you'd need to earn an annual income of $221,592 to make numbers like that work. This is about 3 times the national median. Since LA is such a huge city, home prices vary considerably based on the location. If you're in beachfront Venice, median price single-family houses sell for about $1,750,000, while in mid-city, typical homes can be found for $835,000.
Housing is just the tip of the iceberg. You also have to factor in the kind of lifestyle you want to lead if you're living in LA, from entertainment to eating out to clothes. Next, let's consider transportation, because Los Angeles is a city of drivers. And there's a reason that people living here are always talking about traffic. Because of the size of the sprawling city, driving is the easiest way to get around, with 87% of LA residents owning cars. In short, you should really find a car and fit that into your budget if you're moving to LA. California ranks #1 in car sales across all states, meaning that there are more options for you. A new car will cost you around $41,000 on average, while a used car clocks in at $24,500. Unless you've been living under a rock, you'll also know that prices for cars have been steadily rising over the past 2 years. Gas prices in LA are amongst the highest in the country, and it's often $1 higher per gallon than any other part of the country. Los Angeles drivers are known for spending a lot of time on the highways. They are also spending money on insuring their wheels. So you should expect to spend a few $100s a month for this, as the annual average for car insurance is $1,964. Most people living in California spend around $385 a year on car maintenance, ranking it third for average repair costs across all states.
If you have strong ideas about what car you want to drive, know that LA is the second priciest state in all of the country. All in all, the average cost of owning a car in California over 5 years comes out to a steep $30,987. Driving may be expensive in LA, but it's a necessary cost. Whilst 84% of Los Angeles drives, only 6% takes public transportation. The transport system is convenient for those few who live near LA Metro transit lines. The Metro offers 6 rail lines with a total of 93 stations. Monthly passes start at $100 or $122, including the express bus services. Buses are the most popular public transportation option, with 165 different bus routes to carry you between every neighborhood, with local, rapid, and express options.
So next, let's talk about the average food and entertainment expenditure. For the most part, you can find essential food items like coffee, milk, eggs, bread, and cheese at the same rate as the rest of the United States. However, overall, those living in Los Angeles spend slightly more on food than people in the rest of the US. Grocery prices sit 12% higher than national averages, typically costing around $400 a month. But if you want to stay on track, you may need to keep those specialty gourmet shops to a minimum. Angelinos are known for their love of expensive food items and healthy food fads. Think $50 for vinegar at Erewhon or $18 for asparagus water at Whole Foods.
If nightlife's more your thing, you have plenty of options. Dining and drinking in LA can be a steal or a wallet breaker. You can score some amazing street tacos for just a few dollars each from a truck, or you can blow $400 for sushi at one of the thousands of upscale sushi spots. Sushi in LA is mandatory. Now let's discuss the average medical and healthcare costs. No matter where you live, healthcare expenses are not fun. But even in a health-conscious city like Los Angeles, you have to budget for your medical expenses. Compared to national averages, hospital prices in LA are nearly twice as high. And overall healthcare expenses rank about 10% higher, with the average monthly costs for an individual being $541. Healthcare can get pricey according to the number and age of people living in a house. For example, a house with elderly and children will be paying more for overall healthcare than a place occupied by 2 young adults. The actual amount of bills will vary according to people's health and immunity levels.
Moving on to the average phone and utility bills. The average bill an Angelino pays for his or her phone is $109. Luckily, out of all of your monthly expenses, utilities are one of the few areas where LA isn't too expensive. Depending on your housing situation, your basic utilities could fluctuate. However, most Angelinos pay $181 per month for their energy and gas bill. Water can stack another $65 onto that number. It is worth mentioning that many older apartments in Los Angeles don't require central heating or a cooling system if they're near the beach. If, however, you live in the valley, it's going to be a different story, and you should expect your LADWP bill to be at least double. I cover this subject in much more detail in my valley videos, and I have very strong feelings about it, being a somewhat new valley resident. Your typical internet provider in Los Angeles will charge between $30 and $50 per month for everyday download speeds. Our next cost to consider is childcare, which can make it quite expensive to be a parent in LA, with full-time daycare costing between $268 to $4,000 per month. Cost is the main factor in determining daycare. Other factors that might impact your choice include the curriculum, student-teacher ratios, schedule, and location.
Lastly, let's discuss taxes and jobs. LA City is known for its high demand for taxes. Income tax will also compromise your budget at 9.3% instead of the national average of 4.6%. Your lifestyle in Los Angeles will determine the costs you pay each month. According to the MIT calculations, the average living wage rate in LA is $22.21 per hour for a full-time employed individual. As we discussed earlier, it's so important to save money for emergencies, so make sure you save a surplus amount each month. Remember, the costs can multiply if you opt for a lavish lifestyle. If your salary allows it, go for it. You really can have the best of everything in LA for a price. If you're on a budget, you may need to compromise on some luxuries to maintain a balanced living. The high cost of living and housing in LA necessitates higher salaries, and this is reflected in the city's high minimum wage of up to $15, which is double the national average. The average worker in the Los Angeles metropolitan area makes about $60,000 per year. At 12%, whilst this is higher than the national average, in truth, it's not enough to make up for the 42.6% higher cost of living. On the top end of the salary spectrum, jobs in the Hollywood TV and movie industry pay well, with average producer salaries of over $76,000 per year. Also in recent years, LA has established itself as the US's third most popular tech hub, behind San Francisco and New York City. So demand for software engineers has increased. These positions pay almost $106,000 on average.
There's no getting around the fact that Los Angeles is pricey. Living here requires careful planning, as it's ranked the third most expensive US city, with average monthly expenses of $2,899. But compared to other California cities like Oakland or San Francisco, LA is less expensive. If you're planning to move to Los Angeles, finding a better than average paying job will go a long way towards making it more comfortable for you.
We hope this video was useful. Thanks for watching.